Hey everyone, it's me, WalkZ, and since you pressed on this video, you already know what I'm going to be talking about. Now, right here I'm showing you an example of how the layout looks, giving you an example because all this happened in Mexico. Now, most of you would think, oh, it was probably someone getting murdered or whatever, and like, no, if someone's getting murdered, it wouldn't sound like how I'm going to explain to you right now. So basically, my family lives in an alley similar to the one that's shown right now, and the houses are pretty much buildings like two to three stories high, and they are similar to San Francisco houses when they're mushed together. And the alley is pretty much like this, but twice the size. Like one alley like similar to that, and another half of an alley. Now, all this happened around, I'd say 3 a.m. It's pretty dark, and there's only one lamppost. And if you were to reach the end of the alley, you could turn right, as you can see, or turn left. All right. Same thing for the other side. You could turn right or left or go straight. And my uncle and who lives in the other side of the alley forward. There's like, I'd say 5 people living there, and none of them heard what I'm gonna talk about. So if you were to reach the end right here, yeah, you turn right or left. Now, what happened was, it was around 3 a.m. and everyone was asleep, and from right here I'm gonna show you how it looks from the interior. So pretty much like where the vent is at, if you were to go past the gates, you'd enter the building to the house and be in the lobby room pretty much. And well, what happened was, when you go inside, you could go upstairs to the second floor. Now, like I said, through the gate you'd reach the lobby, and if you go left, there'll be a set of stairs that you can go up to the second or third floor. Now, at that night, during my vacation out, I usually slept in my grandma's room, which is pretty much the second floor. Now, on the second floor, it's only a small amount of room. I'd say similar to the balcony as shown right here. Now, there's 3 ways you can go. There's 2 rooms. One room right here, like where I'm facing, and the other room next to it. Now, when you go outside the room, you go turn right and go upstairs, turn left and go to the restroom, or you could go front and look outside, because outside is pretty much, it's like there's no windows, it's windowless. So if you were to look outside, you'll feel the wind, you can look at everything. Like right here, it was brick, nothing but bricks. And I'm going to the other balcony to give you a better example. And that night I was in my grandma's room. It was me, my grandma, mom, and my sister. And like right here I'm showing you, like if you like where I'm pointing right now, you can go upstairs, all right, or you could go downstairs where I'm pointing at right now, all right. And now where I'm pointing right now, that would be the restroom, like right here. Like if I were to enter the restroom, this will be the room, the second room next to the room I was staying. And yeah, and pretty much like I said, how it was. And I could go outside. The whole thing right here is made out of bricks, so if I were to lean over, I'll be able to see what is going on outside. Now, on that night, I was asleep with my mom and my sister, because it's 2 beds. My grandma prefers to sleep on the floor, I don't know why. And everyone was asleep. And keep in mind, in this building, about 14 people are living in this building, so everyone was all asleep. And around 3 a.m. I started hearing a faint scream, a scream of a woman. And like right now where I'm pointing at, it started from that point where it started to begin, and it slowly but surely started reaching the middle of the house, which was, but this is weird because it's slowly walked, like if it was just casually walking. An instant scream, like non-stop. Like it screamed loud, very loud. Takes a breath and then continues on, like 1 second delay every time. And I heard it like till it reached the end. And from there I thought, oh, you know what? It's probably gone now. Wherever it was, it's gone. However, that wasn't the case. Then it decided to come back a second time, and yeah, it was walking. Like from there, it started returning, and I was scared. I was very afraid. I woke up my mom, asking her if she heard it, but she didn't hear anything, and she just went back to sleep. I think she didn't even bother waking up because she just put her head up and just fell back to sleep. Now it's coming back. Alright, it's coming back slowly but surely, making its way back to the middle, and it's still screaming non-stop. And I couldn't believe, like, how am I the only one hearing this? Everyone is still asleep, and it's still coming. It's walking, like I'm showing right now. It's still walking. It's still walking. And keep in mind, there's a lamp right there where I just pointed, and yeah, the lamp is right there. It's crazy. Now, during this whole thing was going down, my stomach started to hurt so much, like if I had diarrhea or something. Now, my stomach was hurting so bad, I really need to go to the restroom. And if I wanted to go to the restroom, I pretty much needed to go outside the door, and turn left to the restroom, which would be right here, like I'm doing right now. It'd be right there. And that's what I did. I quickly went to the restroom when the woman was at the end of the alley. And yeah, I stayed there for a couple of minutes, and of course, here comes the woman again, screaming loudly back over here, slowly, from a distance. And I'm afraid. I'm really afraid this time. And it's really weird because still nobody's hearing it. No one's awake yet, and I'm right there hearing it. So then, if I were to go outside and lean over the balcony that's like made out of bricks, I would be able to see what was screaming. And I really didn't want to do that, and I didn't do that. Thank God I didn't, because if I did, who knows what I would have seen, and I don't know what would happen to me if I did. Now the next day, no wait, not the next day, after that I went back to my room and slept, and I think it went away. It went away. It completely stopped, and I went back to sleep. The next day, I asked everyone around the building if they heard anything, any screams, and they told me they didn't, which is weird because this happened for like a good 20 minutes and no one heard it. Not a single person. No one heard it. It was only me who heard it. So I started like questioning if I was fully awake. It was impossible for me to be having a dream. I felt everything real. Everything was real. I was awake, and no one heard it. And yeah, so I decided to go on with my day. And keep in mind, I'd say 8 to 11 years old, I believe. Yes, and it was my first trip to Mexico. So yeah, I was like 8 to 11 years old, and I heard this whole thing. I thought all this was real. So I decided to go ask my uncle who lives in the end of the alley if he heard it. So I'm on my way asking him. I asked my uncle, my aunt, my cousins, and not a single person heard it. No. 2 weeks later, my neighbor passes away. I don't know how. I just knew it from my family. They told me like, oh yeah, he passed away. And 4 years later, I decided to start searching out myths and legends because it caught my attention that day, and I ended up reading about banshees. And it turns out banshees are women who wail in the night, and if you hear her, someone close to you is about to die. And sure enough, 2 weeks later, my neighbor dies. It's pretty weird, and that's pretty much it. That's my experience with the Banshee. I have more stories to tell you guys. If you guys are really interested, please be sure to leave a like in the comment, and comment if you really want to hear more of my scary stories, which are real, by the way. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Subscribe for more of this, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.